Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So back here again for an encore video. And this is becoming the hottest fund family in the dividend space, Roundhill. It's really blowing up. It's reminiscent of like a year and a half ago how Yield Max kind of took the dividend world by storm. So we are having Dave Massa on in terms of just airing out some household items here, some just standard business items. So Dave Massa, the CEO, fund manager of Roundhill, is coming back on September 9th. We're going to try to have him on the channel and the podcast. Lots of interesting stuff to talk about. You all have seen, and this took up the bulk of what we talked about with Jay, or at least the first segment of the interview. These weekly funds. Um, and Jay, as you all could tell, was kind of miffed about the appeal. Well, I don't want to say miffed, but he just doesn't quite understand the appeal. But whether we understand it or not, it's definitely taken off. So let's review the dividends that we got today. And like I said, they continue to impress. I really have no complaints. So let's look over here first. So the dividends that we got for XDTE, 26 cents for XDTE. For QDTE, we got 31 cents and change, and we got a bonus today. We got our dividend for YBTC, which was $1.61. That's a distribution rate of 42.27. The distribution rates calculations for the other two are a bit more complicated. This is why I like to do the spreadsheet. So what I've done in this video, I have taken the liberty of updating two fields in the spreadsheet to make things a little more quick today. So here's what we've got. So the dividend is already plugged in for this week, so we can just drag and drop. As a reminder to new viewers, the columns I use in the spreadsheet, we start with weekly dividend, trading days, monthly. By the way, next week we'll have a holiday, so this number should be 4. This is what the dividend would be monthly, and then annualized. This is the current share price. I calculate the percent yield based on the share price, and then the price change week to week. I do a hypothetical $100,000 investment, the number of shares it would buy for you if you were buying right now. So you can see in the history here, this is like week number, it looks like 20, 22. So in the 22-week history so far, the best time to buy was actually like 2 weeks ago for QDTE, and we'll look at the same for XDTE. So this amount of money with this number of shares is paying you weekly 740, annually 38,500. So if we annualize this, we're here, and then here, 31%. This is the price change here. With 100,000 invested, we drag this down. This is the number of shares we would buy. Actually, more than last week because the share price dropped a bit. Actually, our income dropped to like 600 for this one. So that would leave us at $31,084. Okay, let's look here now. So we've got, let's see. The original share price was 53.10. We're currently trading at 52.29 right now. So we've only fluctuated by, we've only gone down really by like 80 cents, which is really phenomenal. So, excuse me, let's do this. Since we started here, we've got, how did I do this now? Let's see. I had $1.36 divided by, let's see. So it's 81. That's the number. It's 81. Let me do this real quick. Let's see. That wasn't right either. All right, let me just go with this. So right now it's an 81-cent difference. Maybe I didn't update this last week. So right now it's negative 0.81. So it's 1.53%. So the dividend here, what I'm calculating in this field, I need to add 2 cells. So it's going to end in cell Q25. Excuse me. So we've got a sum here divided by U3, which was the original share price. So this is what it's actually paid out. This is important because not a lot of channels or metrics really track this, but this is the actual realized dividend payout to date, 10.58%, which for 22 weeks is awesome. So if we were to take this, divide by 22, hold on a second. Take this, divide by 2022. I'm going to go into a little bit of a mad scientist here with my formulas. So take this, and then we're going to times it by 52 to annualize it. That would be 25%, which is understated because it's really 31%. So that is for XDTE. Now for QDTE, the dividend did go down quite substantially, but it's still not a bad dividend. So annualizing it, or excuse me, monthly is this. Annual is here. And then we've got, we're down to 32%. We were up to look at this. At some point, we were up to like 67% dividend yield here. Phenomenal. Okay, the original share price here was 46.35. So believe it or not, we're close to a bottom here, actually. And you can see in terms of number of shares. Now, I'm not sure what got all funky with this here, but the numbers are a little bit formattedly off. So the best week to buy would have been, as far as if you were buying in, it would have been literally 2 weeks ago. So let's drag this one down over here, drag this bad boy down over here, and then we're going to have this one. So we're still at a decent buying point. I may actually buy in more. And so we would be from 57,000 to 32,000. So let's do this real quick over here. Let's see. So over here we've got, it's 415. The difference is actually 415. So let's do this. 415. Okay, so it's down 9%. So another reason I track this metric here, I'm all about metrics, because the dividend, watch this. See, I didn't update it for last week. I need you all to keep me on point here. Okay, so again, we remember this column from what I just said above. The so far year-to-date realized dividend is almost 16%, and that's at a cost of basically 8.95% NAV erosion, if you want to call it that. But the share price has only fluctuated $4. So you could look at it, forget the percentage, but in terms of just look at dollars, you can forget the percentage, right? And we want to focus on dollars, right? Because dollars are what we care about. So it's paid back to shareholders $7.28. And in terms of what the share price has lost, it's $4.15. So $4.15 in share price or NAV erosion, if you want to call it that, for a $7.28 gain, that is a net gain of $3.13. How's that for math in my head there? And then let's do the dollar amount here for XDTE, and then we'll issue our final verdict. Okay. So we're up to 23 weeks now. So 561 for a share price drop of 81 cents. This one's doing better by far. Think about that. So for $5.61 in dividends, right? 561, oops, 561 minus 0.81, that's $4.80 in net realized dividend returns, right? So really phenomenal. So final verdict is for a $200,000 investment split evenly between these two funds. We've got 31,000 plus 32,000, 184, and that is 63,270. So it's a pretty good return, right? 63,270 divided by 200,000 is a 31.6% rate of return. Easy math, you could always just divide that by 2 because 200,000, 100,000 in terms of 100%, right? Okay, so that's for XDTE and QDTE. Now let's go look at, real quick, the YBTC. That's going to be bonus content for now. Wow, the cat must have you all's tongues. I have no comments here, but it got 19 of you silent folks just silently watching. Okay, one more thing we're going to do here real quick. We're going to look at the YBTC. And I'll use, it's funny because Seeking Alpha is starting to become like what Yahoo was a year ago. You all that were watching me at the time, I call you my OGs now, but you all were like, don't use Yahoo. Now you guys are starting to say, don't use Seeking Alpha. Okay, but here's YBTC. So let's look at, so we debuted here January 18th. So since January 18th in price return, we're down $7 or $7, 7.75%. Total return, I know you hate when I use this, some of you, but I got to do it. 20.52% total return. Let's look at dividends real quick. I believe this dividend might have dropped. Dividend yield, it's saying 31% here. Last dividend was $2.06. So let's look at dividend history here really quick. Um, okay, so we've paid out basically every month. Our fattest dividend was actually in July. So we came down a little bit from there because the one, and this has to update obviously, because as we saw in the email, the dividend is actually, what did I say now? You'd think I'd have it memorized. $1.61. Okay, so it has come down from the peak in July. Well, anyway, that's pretty much Roundhill in a nutshell for today. Let me go over again as bonus. Let's go over or I should say as bonus. See, I want to go over the funds that they actually are launching. And we mentioned this to Jay, and personally, I don't know if Jay's all that happy with the the new competition. It's kind of like, I mean, competition is good, which he agrees, but sometimes you kind of have to go back to the drawing board. And when your competitors come up with something like next level, you got to counter it. Okay, what am I trying to look at here? Oh, the new weekly ETFs. Here we go. This is a Reddit post. Um, I think I'm going to poll you guys. I may switch to covering more Roundhill because I'm starting to see a lot of potential there. Yield exploiter. So does YBit pay out dividends on a different day than Ulti, Misty, and the others? I'm in love with QDTE. Um, the Yield Max fund pays the same as the fund of funds. So it's on that schedule. They have two payment schedules right now. I'll be buying those new funds, especially weekly payers. I couldn't be happier. Yeah, finally a comment. Okay, Bugs Bunny here came out of the rabbit hole to comment. Just saying because your picture there. Okay, so the Roundhill funds we're going to have new weekly ETFs for Apple, AMD, Amazon, Coinbase, Google, Meta, Microsoft, MSTR, Nvidia, and Tesla. And I'm sure, as all fund managers say, there's going to be way more in the works, as we know. But anyway, so that is Roundhill in a nutshell. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Happy investing. I know Roundhill, like I say, we're quickly becoming very popular here with Roundhill. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe, and join Discord. Um, and I mean that sincerely. No shameless plug here, but literally half of you all that watch are not subscribed to me. So it would really help me out if you all could subscribe and smash that like button and share the videos. So thank you all. I do actually, I hold both. Anyway, I need to do a portfolio review, don't I, actually? Been having some good options wins, by the way, but that is a topic for another video, my friend. All right, you all, take care. Good night. See ya. Bye.